decision. He is playing. He's going to give it a go, but he's battling a lower body injury. And Wambach wins the opening draw clean. North Carolina will go on offense first, and this is a UNC team that has been beat up over the last few weeks. Number 7, James Matton, getting the start today. He was questionable with an injury. Owen Duffy, their top attackman, the freshman, the team's leading scorer, flanked by Andrew Price, the freshman. Getting the start on that first midfield. Price turbines away from trouble. Still plenty of time to shoot. There's Matton, fakes the shot with the left. 21, Dewey Egan, a threat from the outside, also on that first midfield. Now the freshman, Dom Petramala with the bounce shot. Didn't look like a good idea initially. It goes in, and boy, does he need to see it. He came into this game shooting 2 for 23 in ACC play.
I think you play a minute and you see the recipe for an upset. It starts with face-off wins and long possessions, and then shooting percentage has been a real storyline here in Chapel Hill. Petramala now, a redshirt freshman, strong left-hander, known for...
Yeah, expect to see Cal Gerard and Luke Engelke take some reps at the face-off X. 0 and white is Lance Tillman, a senior. It is senior day for North Carolina. Trevor Dubner, another senior from Glen Ridge, New Jersey. Now Logan McGovern, who has scored at least 1 point in every one of his games as a Tar Heel. He gets the pick. McGovern gets top side and stings the back of the net. 2-0 Tar Heels. We know they've got a lot to play for.
You got mascots here in Chapel Hill on a gorgeous Saturday. Nice little crowd on senior day. McGovern, one of those graduate transfers from Bryant who was honored prior to this game, and Carolina playing with... I like the trail check right there. That's not a penalty, but the hit is high and late, and that's going to garner a flag every day of the week. Max Cooney, 6'5" senior from Georgetown Prep, has a seat in the penalty box. He's been the replacement for Paul Barton.
O'Neal over to Dyson Williams. Now Charles Balsamo.
Shutting off McAdory.
O'Neal, lefty hammer, Eureka.
Odd defensive strategy for North Carolina as they shut off Andrew McAdory, of all people, on the left side of your screen, leaving O'Neal an opportunity to catch, cradle, and step down. I mean, this is just way too easy. You must impact the big man.
Career goal number 196 for O'Neal, who in his previous 3 games against Carolina has bludgeoned the Tar Heels. 9 goals and 8 assists in those 3 games. O'Neal almost had it, and it's scooped up by North Carolina. Leif Hagerup. Hot shot saved by Patrick Jamieson, the freshman, denying Brady Wambach, the Fogo.
I don't mind the shot, but if you're a Fogo taking a 15-yard shot from center top.
O'Neal sledgehammered down the alley that time.
Green.
Hot shot saved. That was off the cross of Johnston. Rebound loose. And Carolina comes up with the ground ball. Cooper Frankenheimer.
Heels fans love the D.
Here's Lance Tillman. Keep going back to that 21 team. Tillman came out of nowhere down the stretch. They called him Dance Tillman. Big part of that run to the national semifinals. McGovern at top side, gives it up. Petramala unleashes and scores.
Dom Petramala, the lefty.
So a 1-minute non-releasable man up, 77 in white. Dominic Petramala, son of the legend and the D coordinator for UNC, Dave Petramala, with 2 of the 3. Feet in front. Jamieson turned it away. Loose ball comes back to McGovern. Skip pass up top. That's Price. Petramala feeds the middle. Egan's got a hammer from the outside. Jamison read that one all the way.
That's when he needed to make. Freshman righty has been super solid all season long. The Pennsylvania native hovering at times this season at around 60% saves. He's been stepping.
Max Sloat. He's a lefty. Over to Denenza. One of the St. Anthony's cavalry for Duke.
So it's a man-to-man defense, but it's got zone principles up top. They're doubling from the adjacent, the next door neighbor defender.
Denenza got a good look, goes low, and he brings Duke to within a goal at 3-2.
Step down city here at Dorrance Field. North Carolina just getting too passive, too soft, and too condensed on the perimeter. And Denenza senses that real estate, like, okay, if I step.
And what's the counter for Duke?
Duke I think Duke needs to jam the ball behind it and start more sets from the wing and behind against that look.
We'll try to do it here.
This second midfield group has been an invert.
Here is Zawada. Alex Slusher, the Princeton transfer, behind the cage. 46 goals 2 years ago on a national semifinalist team. Inside roll, not there. He was in the crease, Carolina ball.
Yeah, he's in the game right now for O'Neal, and John Danowski has pulled O'Neal. Not had the great support over the last 2 years, so his save percentage is a bit down. He's not playing in the big games, so he's not being scrutinized. His games aren't being covered, but I think he's just every bit as good as a bunch of the senior goaltenders. It's an incredible class of goalies.
No doubt. This is Ryan Levy working on Gray, or rather Caputo. Now Tillman. They've got Denenza on defense. I think Duke's got 7 on the field, so it's an offsides against Duke. Tillman against Frizzoli now. Over to Dubner, right hand free, and Carolina extends to 4-2.
I mean, this is terrific offense. The flag's down, so you're given kind of a free roll. Duke defense standing around like blue traffic cones. You got 7 guys, but nobody's doing nothing. And Dubner's left all alone in the high slot area. A little change of level, Anisha mentioned it. It's a low release to a high location. Carolina continues to be the better team on the field right now.
Wambach wins the faceoff, a chance unsettled. Feeding to Matten. One more, McGovern, tic-tac-toe, bullseye.
On reunion weekend, this place is going bonkers. Who could have predicted it? Wambach out the front side. Duke's defense rotates. They pass it to perfection. Jamison guesses low. And the graduate student senior, Logan McGovern.
North Carolina is doing this without leading scorer Owen Duffy, without Barton, one of their top defenders, their most experienced. Matten, who had the assist, is playing through an injury. The Schwartz twins are out. O'Neal makes it look so easy as he just windmills down the alley.
Apparently angry for the stick violation and being put on the bench by his head coach. He runs off this pick, switches hands back to his left and snaps it from mid-range, making that look elementary. This young man has so much talent. I mean,
one, Petramala had it knocked away by Carpenter. Matten retrieves. The other 3, Chris Gray, who played at UNC and Boston University, Justin Gutterding, a standout at Duke, and Logan Wisnauskas, former Tewaaraton winner at Maryland.
Really impressed with Carolina's body language, their tenor, their aggressive mindset.
Here comes Dewey Egan through the contact, and we're going to get a whistle on UNC.
Crease violation.
Yeah.
And this game can be emblematic of games this weekend. You know, teams are trying to qualify for their league tournament. Championship week is next week, and a lot of teams are playing a limit.
It's conceivable Carolina could win today, get into the ACC tournament, win out, still not get in.
Well,
But if you do that, you at least put yourself in that conversation a week from tomorrow.
They would have 3 top 10 wins at that point.
No, listen, but again, there is no recency bias when it comes to evaluating teams. Everything is by the book, and they have some bad scars on their resume. They're 6-7 coming into this game as Johnston gets free. Nice individual effort to bring Duke within 1. Lacks reference. They do a great job. They track the RPI. I said, if Carolina wins out, what range do you see their RPI getting into? And he said, yeah, probably 13 to 15 range. And that's the bubble. Sometimes that's the wrong side of the bubble.
They would have more upside resume. That is more top 10 wins.
1 in overtime. Should be a barn burner.
That game tomorrow, Sunday noon, from Charlotte, North Carolina. If you live in the
I'll be there, Quint. I'll be there. Here's Wambach. Bounce shot, save Jamison.
You are going.
I'll be there, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the site of the ACC men's tournament as well next weekend.
And he's got a short stick matchup. His eyes are getting big. There's the switch. Still a short stick. It's English. O'Neal down the alley. Hums it just a bit too high as it caroms off the bricks.
Fans can sit behind these goals. There's no net behind this goal to our left. Keep your head up and paying attention.
Zawada, 5 goals against Virginia last time out. Kangarooed and lost the ball. English in transition.
Nice defense by Peter.
You and I both had Duke as our preseason #1. With a strong finish, they're looking at a 1 or a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Long term is their depth. To me, of the main contenders, they're probably best equipped to play 2 games in 3 days.
10 to shoot. Papendick near the cage, throws it in front. It's on the ground, and Krieg springs out.
I mentioned that Notre Dame has wonderful depth at the midfield position, but I don't love their defensive.
How about the ride here by Balsamo? And Carolina's got 10 seconds to get it across midfield.
Not sure why Krieg let that ball stick in his pocket so long. He had outlets. Weighs 150 pounds, a lefty from Darien, Connecticut. Just refused to be denied an opportunity to play sports.
Skip to Petramala, loads up and scores! Put a little barbecue sauce off the ground for Dom Petramala.
This is a nasty shot, okay? A left-hander coming with an overhand release to a near side high bounce location. Look at the torque, look at the reach back like Randy Johnson fastball, straight over the top, using the earth. And
up top, Balsamo, shot blocked, caroms into the air.
his career has been under scrutiny since he was in 8th grade in verbal Penn State. And here we are now. So this next month, carve your legacy, get drafted #1 into the Premier Lacrosse League.
Feed in front, Krieg steps out. How about that, Quint? Taking away the angle by moving out of the cage to take away that shot.
Does a nice job of just crashing Papendick, and like a hockey goalie.
Spins it back to McAdory, now Sloat. Looking for Zawada off his stick. Johnson
Nice
keeps
play
it
by
in bounds. Zawada can't find it. English off the carpet. Final minute, first half. Carolina turns it over. I think Johnston may have had Dyson Williams for a moment. He hesitated.
The clock and score dictates it's probably the smart move.
Duke can hold for 1. They take the shot.
That not the smart shot, though, I tell you that much.
And Carolina now pushing the other way. English over to Petramala. He's got a hat trick. His pass was knocked down. Both teams sloppy. Bodies flying through a mass of humanity. The ball finds the back of the net.
A Duke defender's stick just breaks. It's a massive scrum of bodies in front, looking like a bunch of 6-year-olds playing rec league lacrosse, and I believe it's McGovern.
It is.
McGovern, who scoops us up seamlessly, left-handed around the world. Tough deck of cards as a young man, but he's fought his dad Mark and mom Deidre in and out of the hospitals as a youngster.
And he's been a big part of advocating for a cure. Wants CF one day to stand for cure. Found. Back of the net found. Matten. And Carolina closing this second half with a blitz. This is stunning, Quint.
Well,
this is stunning.
Gigantic goals before halftime, because you're going to go into the locker room with all sorts of belief. So 2 goals there in under 30 seconds with 6. You don't quite understand what's happening here. And this crowd is feeding off this.
Final ticks. Did they get their shot off? Does it count? The goal is good. Now, I have replay review, so you can review this. Danny Striano.
John Danowski is not throwing a flag. The officials could look at it at themselves. Ball must be out of his stick by zeros.
3 goals in an absolute eye blink if this one stands. And let's see, we got the clock. Yeah, that counts.
Good.
That counts. Quint, 3 goals in 20 seconds to close the first. Differential, the ACC is capped at +5 or -5. So coming into this game, you had Duke at +5, Virginia at +2, Carolina at -5. With a 5-goal advantage in the first half, Carolina has wiped out that -5. They're back to 0, as is Duke, in that all-important goal differential. So the margin of victory could potentially matter depending on the result of Notre Dame, Virginia. Well below par in Duke's 3 losses. Johnston. Sloat. Saved by Krieg.
Easy stop by Krieg, the lefty senior from Ward Melville.
Can win. This is a loss to a team outside of the RPI top 20. Now, if Carolina goes on a run and wins this game, wins the next 2, that loss looks better for Duke. But in the moment, this is a loss that really hurts your resume.
Absolutely, Anish. I mean, win out, they're going to be a 1-2-3 type seed.
Price. It is a 6-goal advantage for North Carolina.
Krieg, the lefty, stands tall with an easy save, good rebound control. Look at him, eyes on that ball in the pocket. At the other end, the price is right.
When it comes to ground balls, and up 6 on the scoreboard, and Wambach's been a game changer against a banged-up Naso. Early offense, big save, Jamison. They're putting quite a few shots on Jamison, and Wambach scores, flag down. He might need a shot of Jamison.
Wambach, this is a gutsy play. This is a toughness play. He wins this initial draw out the front side, right? It's a fast break. Watch what happens to him after he makes the pass to the point man. He is lit up, boom, right there. There's the penalty. Flag is dropped. Oh, he gets to his feet. Oh, I just happen to be open. Plays possum on the inside. Duke defenders think he's dead. Well, all of a sudden he rises from the grave and scores.
He is the nephew of the great Abby Wambach. Fantastic soccer player. Brady, top 15 recruit out of high school.
In Pittsburgh, New York.
And here comes Naso now. Charging down. Over to Zawada, and Duke at last ends this North Carolina run. UNC had scored 7 unanswered before Zawada gets one back for the Blue Devils.
Scoreless streak approaching about 20 minutes. But Naso out the front side. Look at him, he's down on the ground, rolls over. The wing play causes this one to happen. Tell you, a good hustle and pinch there by Jake Wilson. And Naso now back-to-back games. He's picked up some points. He had 2 goals in the win.
Bryant, the lefty, checked by the All-American Kenny Brower. using the pick, feeding Petramala, and that is 4 for Petramala, his 32nd of the season, to tie UNC's freshman goals record.
They're going nuts in the end zone. Great left-handed cut from the high slot area. Kind of like a scissors action here. McGovern driving left-handed. Petramala mirrors him. Starts on the
10 turnovers for Duke. We come up on 6 minutes to play in the third. North Carolina in the midst of a 7-1 run. It included 3 goals in the final 20 seconds of the opening half. Levy against Denenza. Dubner, low shot, score.
I mean, everything going well. Levy with the invert. Dubner, grip it and rip it. Don't look. Going to drop down to somewhere between probably the 4 and 6 or 7 range. And Carolina stays a viable and a live team for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, if you're Carolina, you say
still in the hunt at least.
If you get the win today, that's again a win against an RPI #1, at least for the moment.
People talk about tournament expansion. NCAA tournament, 17 teams.
O'Neal to Dyson Williams. Krieg slams the door.
Big time save, a huge one. League tournaments ultimately are an extension of the NCAA bracket.
McGovern driving on Brower. 7 points for Logan McGovern. Now he's got the short stick matchup.
He's played a really, really smart game. Effective. Such an overachiever. Look at him.
Tries to feed it into Dubner. Carpenter. Petramala tried to get the ride back. Here's Carpenter. Turbos into the box. Carpenter all the way, and Williams has the backup. Carpenter can go. 7 career goals.
Important 3 minutes of this game right now, right here. It sets up the 4th quarter.
McAdory looking for his first point. Zawada has Toman, the freshman, hung up. Zawada snakes around. It's a big wheel over to Williams. Krieg, the denial. Williams, the rebound and score. So good in tight spaces.
Roots in the indoor game. Watch, he follows up his own shot, expecting to say boom. He's just the fastest and most energized player after the shot. Canadian players, there's more rebounds in indoor.
Now O'Neal.
It's a matchup advantage for O'Neal.
He's got the shorty, Frankenheimer. Picked up now.
That's just bad offense.
Yeah, you have the matchup. You set a pick. Now he's got the pole.
You drag the pole to O'Neal.
Zawada back to O'Neal. Turns, fires, save Krieg. Carolina's got it. They've got 5 seconds. Toman. English. Listen to this roar.
How about senior Colin Krieg? 3 really good stops in that quarter. Another moment in the sun.
Now the team that, if they're watching Virginia, they might be put in a position now, Quint, where if this score, especially more than anything, this scoring margin holds, Virginia might be in a spot where they have to beat Notre Dame. So as of right now, and again, you got to remember, goal differential is capped at +5, -5 either way. So as of right now, you've got North Carolina at +3, Virginia at +2. Duke, which started the day at +5, is now at -3. I know that's a lot to digest. So in that scenario, assuming this score and the scoring margin holds, Carolina would get in.
Really has been midfield dysfunction. Ben Johnson, the only midfield goal scorer I have on the list. I've got nobody else really with any kind of points.
Oh, Denenza had one.
Denenza had their second goal.
Here comes Tillman. Ooh, goes upstairs. Saves some room in the penthouse suite. 15-6. Don't stick any daggers in the Carolina corpse just yet.
Tillman, the grad student from Colorado. Great feet. Roll back. Press the middle, roll back to his right. Paint the corner. This view will be scintillating. Oh! Kirsten, just incredible.
And they had that game in 2016, late in the year. I believe it was at home against Notre Dame. And it was a wild back and forth game. And Bones Kelly started winning every face-off.
In the stadium.
It was at Keenan.
Yeah.
Started winning every face-off down the stretch.
They came back and won that game.
They did. There's Papendick, bouncer. Krieg got a piece. Snags.
Other teams will use this defensive strategy going forward.
That one hits the pipe from Landon. Dave Petramala knows a little something.
You think?
About defense. Just a little something.
Landon in the game for his outside shot. He's a good lefty. Been in and out of the lineup over the course of his career.
Same with Mitchell. Only one goal this season. Make it two. Grant Mitchell. Solo effort. 15-7.
ISO alley dodge, left-handed. Gets his hips and shoulders inside. He's able to reach back right-handed and bounce this ball past Krieg. Looks like Krieg got a chunk of that ball with his leg. Clicks in. Second goal of the season for Grant Mitchell. Nothing like John Danowski to roll some strange faces into a game when we least expect it, right?
Here's where Duke has to get traction if they want to come back, and they get the procedure call on Wambach. Cal Gerard taking that face off.
Well, now a little spark. Let's see if they can run this, parlay this.
McGuire steps into one. 2 in a row for Duke.
All right, if you're Carolina, you're thinking timeout. How soon are you going to use it here? You look up to the clock, you see 6:50 to go in this game. You can't panic right now. But you're understanding that goal differential is a major factor here.
The big part of goal differential, when you look at the games between Duke, Virginia, and UNC, it is capped at +5 or -5. So if you have a goal differential, the four teams, Notre Dame, Virginia, Syracuse, and Duke, they're all getting into the NCAA tournament. The only team in the ACC this year that needs to win 2 games just to have a shot at getting into the ACC tournament or the NCAA tournament is North Carolina. There's no automatic qualifier, so there is no automatic inclusion into the NCAA tournament for winning the ACC tournament. And even if North Carolina runs the table, there's no guarantee that they get into the NCAA tournament.
They would finish 9-7. Again, it's impossible to predict what their RPI would look like, but they would pick up seemingly 3 top 10 RPI wins along the way.
And then you have to ask yourself, would that be enough? What does the committee value? Here's Denenza off the feed from O'Neal, and Duke cuts the margin to 6. Significant.
We spent some time with Aiden Denenza 2 weeks ago, a senior from Oyster Bay, Long Island, recently turned 22-year-old who loves playing golf. He's had some big-time games this season. Thought he was excellent late against Penn in the mud. Thought he played well.
O'Neal can't get away from Geppert. The crowd applauds. Denenza over the shoulder of Krieg, and Duke has made this a 5-goal game, Quint.
Face-off win parlayed into offense. O'Neal draws 2. He's tied up effectively, but the ball movement is rapid. In and out of sticks. Zawada does a good job at X of just keeping.
And he knew he rushed it. Maybe had an extra step he could have taken.
He was more open than he thought, right?
Here's McAdory spinning.
He's been well defended today, I'll tell you that much.
He's been a non-factor, as has O'Neal in the second half. Denenza looking for room. Over to Sloat. 2:15 to go. McAdory tries to get to the middle. Gephardt all over him, and McAdory gets free and brings Duke within 4.
Running through the stick check, you'll see that the hook check applied by the defender, he just runs through it. Not enough body, too much stick, he gets to pay dirt. He dodges to the dirt, the middle of the field, where his angle is supreme. McAdory, a quiet
Duke run, and with the goal differential in this game at 4, we go back to the tiebreak. North Carolina now in a 3-way tie scenario would be in trouble. O'Neal anvils across the field. Krieg.
Ooh, poked in!
And it's poked in, it rolls in! This one's not over either. It's 15-12, a minute 48 to go.
No goal, they're calling goalie interference, I believe.
There's also a flag down.
Or no goal because there was a flag down. Let's see what this call will be.
20 seconds, they've got Dance Tillman.
Improbable.
Tillman dumps it into the corner. Now he's going to chase it down. Final 10 seconds. And that will be a shot clock violation. 7.1 seconds to go. Carolina's going to win. McAdory sends it downfield. UNC ball. Krieg fittingly with the ball in his cross to end the game. The UNC bench makes its way to Colin Krieg in cage. In a season where there were more downs than ups, Carolina ends what could be its final game of the year on a high note. They stun number 2 Duke. UNC ends an 8-game ACC